Hello, 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 everybody. This is Mongo, and welcome to Mongo's Big Thinks. Today, I just want to make a little video about my favorite fictional character. Now, growing up, we all have characters that we see or read about that quickly become our favorites. You know, if you grew up on comic books, your favorite character might be Wolverine or Nightcrawler or Superman, Batman. If you grew up on those cartoons, it might be the same kind of thing. You might be in love with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Throughout all of fiction, we have specific characters that have been made that draw our attention, that draw our focus, that appeal to us. Whether it's literature like Atticus Finch from How to Kill a Mockingbird, or, various other books, over all different kinds of mediums, we have our favorite characters. Now, you might be asking, well, what about you, Mongo? What about me? Who is my favorite character? Well, I would have to say my favorite character in all of fiction is Godzilla. Now, I'm not saying this to be, edgy or whatever, like, oh yeah, my favorite character could beat Superman, or my favorite character could eat Spider-Man or whatever. No. So let me give you a bit of a background on my love of Godzilla. So when I was growing up as a kid, my mother's side of the family, they lived with us, and they lived very close to us for a lot of my childhood. Specifically my grandma, my grandpa, and my Uncle Jimbo, or as I call him, Uncle Bo. Now, Uncle Bo, he liked to watch movies. And he liked a couple different kinds of movies. He liked those old Western movies. He liked karate movies. And he liked Godzilla movies. And of course, when I was a kid, I watched a little bit of karate, a little bit of, cowboys and Indians, But it was the Godzilla movies that really caught my attention. That really caught my love for the genre, And growing up, I got to see a lot of these movies. Most of them were old reruns, like Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, Godzilla versus King Kong, even the original 1954 Gojira. And even moving on into some of the newer, or the more recent ones at the time, like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. There's a lot of history, a lot of movies that I saw as a kid that helped build up my love for the character. Now, you come back to the modern day, today, Godzilla. If you enter Godzilla in a Google search, you'll find a lot of different things. You could find, DVDs of Godzilla. You could find the original 1954 Gojira. Or you could find, collections of Godzilla movies, like the Toho collection, Godzilla collection, volumes 1 or 2, Or you could find more recent Godzilla movies like Shin Godzilla, or the movies from the Monsterverse like Godzilla 2014, or Kong Skull Island, or Godzilla King of the Monsters. There's a lot of those movies, but it's not even limited. It's not only limited to movies. Godzilla also has a lot of comic books. This is obviously a collection of this one comic book, Godzilla Rulers of Earth, Really cool book, IDW has made a lot of Godzilla comic books, and it's not even limited to just IDW. Marvel Comics has also published a run of Godzilla, you have Dark Horse Comics, you have a lot of different comic books about Godzilla. You have a lot of different movies about Godzilla. You have a lot of different kinds of toys and figures and banks and, all these things about this character, Godzilla. He started out as a representation of the horrors of war and atomic energy and all of these things, political and socio-economic crises of the time. And he has evolved and he's changed and he's gone back to his roots on several occasions. But he's been everything. He's been the hero, he's been the villain, he's been a father figure, he's been he's been the savior of the earth and the destroyer of cities. Godzilla has done a lot. And me personally, I'm very glad that I've been able to watch and absorb a pretty hefty portion of Godzilla media, throughout all the different mediums, I've watched a good amount. I would say I'm a casual fan. But for you guys, I hope that I've kind of introduced Godzilla at least enough to, get your interest in him, because Godzilla is cool and all, but it's even better when you got people to talk about Godzilla with, and that's about all I gotta say on that subject, at least for today. I'm hoping to be able to make a few recommendations on Godzilla movies to you guys, and maybe even some other monster movies. But expect that to come out, expect those videos to come out in October. October is a great month. I love it. You got Halloween at the end of the month, and near the beginning of the month, you got my birthday, Mongo's birthday. Not that any of you guys really should care, but I'm planning on making a few, maybe a dozen videos, for those first 14 days of October. But that's kind of a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of stuff that you guys should know going ahead in the rest of this year. But folks, those have been my big thinks, and I'm Mongo, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.